Hi guys, welcome back for another Versus series. Today we're talking about scramblers. So two of my favourite scramblers, the 1100 Ducati Scrambler Sport Pro. So this is the top of the range scrambler through Ducati, which gives you sort of the flashy O-lens, fancy paint job, a few other bits and pieces, Brembos, but we'll get into that in a minute. The other bike is a Triumph 1200 Scrambler, so their new Scrambler that just came out this year. Fantastic bike, heard awesome things about that bike, so I wanted to do a bit of a versus series for you guys if you're thinking about either bike. I know I'd love to have one of these bikes one day in the garage. I think it's a fantastic option just for, light off-roading, a bit of an all-round sort of, it'll be comfortable, you could commute on this. Alright guys, so we're starting with the Ducati. So with the Ducati first, obviously like I said, this is their top of the range, the 1100 Sport Pro. Fantastic styling, what they've done to this bike. I love the way the look of this bike actually. It's actually my favourite Ducati at the moment, I would say. Obviously you guys know I have a Ducati myself. I have a Monster, I have a 659, which I am getting rid of soon. Getting a new bike, but that's for another video. So the matte black looks fantastic. My bike that I currently got is matte black. I think it looks great with the O-lens here. So the style, obviously, they've got that cafe racer style, the bar end mirrors already. It's pretty much, kitted out. You wouldn't have to do anything to this bike other than probably a tail tidy. I don't like the rear sort of tyre hugger they got on this. Some people do, but not a fan of it. And it looks, straight out of the box. It looks fantastic, that cafe racer style. Obviously, it's got the O-lens, like I said. They're going to perform really well. It's full of all your technology as well. It's got your rider modes. It's got ABS. It's got, I think it's got 3 riding modes. It's got everything you need. The engine is 1100. I believe it's 63 kilowatts. I wish they would have done a little bit more with the engine. I would have liked to seen up around the 90 kilowatt sort of mark, but it's got plenty of torque, this engine. So there's no real problems there. And it's a really comfortable bike. I think, if you wanted to have this bike as your sort of do-it-all bike, I think it would be really comfortable for the commute, to work. You could do a track day on this bike. You could do a little bit off-roading. So, I think it's just a fantastic all-round bike. I think that looking at this bike, comparing it to the Triumph, on looks wise alone, I would probably give it to Ducati. I'm a bit biased there. I do like Ducatis. I love the way they look. I do love Triumphs as well, don't get me wrong. Two of my probably my favourite manufacturers. I think with the matte black, the gold O-lens, I think this bike just looks absolutely smick. Guys, so the only thing I can say that I wish they would have done more on this bike, and it would have been, in my eyes, perfect, is up the power just a little bit more. I think, like I said, around that 80 to 90 kilowatts, a little bit more torque, just to make it that little bit more of an animal. Being a Ducati, I think you want it to obviously be a bit more performance orientated, especially at the price of this bike is $22,000 here in Australia, so pretty pricey. So you'd want it to basically do everything. Obviously they've got their pretty basic dash, which I'm a big fan of actually. I don't really think you need that, that sort of a dash that gives you so many different things that you don't even know how to use it. I'm pretty old school like that. I like the basic dashes. I think they're good. Guys. All right, now let's get into the Triumph. So the Triumph for me, is a really fantastic motorcycle. I really, when they released this bike, I really love the styling of this bike. I think it's a little bit more rugged than the Ducati. I think this bike, being a little bit taller, a little bit higher as well, the suspension, the travel's a bit bigger. I think this is aimed more at an off-road sort of motorcycle, a bit more of an adventure style bike opposed to a cafe racer, like the Ducati is. But, obviously both scramblers, both top of the range, both very similar pricing. This one's also but if you go for the XE, it's 23,990, and the 1200 XC is 22,500 here in Australia. So yeah, not much in it there. I believe the XE, you get the gold forks, and it's just, it's obviously a little bit higher, bit more travel, a little bit taller on the XE. And obviously there also was which I was a massive fan of, which there was a Bond edition, so James Bond edition. It was done in black, and I'll put a few photos up now, it looked really cool, but I believe they're all sold out, so can't really get a hold of one of them. But yeah, great looking bike. Alright, so we'll get into the XE. Now, I guess for me, like I said, with the Ducati being a bit more of a cafe racer, there's slightly different crowd, I think, who's buying these bikes. But for me, it'd be pretty similar. Very light off-roading I would do. I'd probably buy this bike for my do-it-all bike. At this sort of price point, it's pretty hard to have, this bike and then have multiple bikes in the garage. But hey, if you can do it, why not? Okay, so the power on this is 90 horsepower and 110 newton meters of torque. So pretty similar to the Ducati. Now this one's got your riding modes as well. It's got road, rain, sport, off, and your rider you can sort of customize however you want. It's also got, I think, heated grips as well as an option. It's got the gold forks are Öhlins, the longer travel. But yeah, I really do like this bike. I think it's a fantastic looking bike. I think the fit and finish on the Triumph is fantastic. I've owned Triumphs in the past and they've been absolutely great. I mean, I think my next bike will be a Triumph. Can't give anything really away yet, but yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, I really like the dash. I think the dash goes to Triumph here on this one. I think yeah, it's basic, but it looks really fantastic. And obviously you can customize it all sorts of ways, with your different, you can put the little visor on the front for a bit more wind protection. You've got, I think you've got over 80 accessories, luggage options, all sorts of things. But yeah, fantastic fit and finish. I can't wait to have a ride of one of these, see what they're like. And yeah, guys. So yeah, just a bit of a quick video for you guys, and just talking about the two bikes. I think they're great options both ways. For me, I'd probably lean towards the 1200 Scrambler from Triumph, just because I think if you were looking at this kind of bike, I think, and you wanted to get down that sort of adventure off-roading, I think this is a little bit more sort of fitted for that style of riding, rather than just a cafe racer. But yeah, just my opinion there, guys. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for some more videos coming. There'll be next week. I'm continuing the adventure style series, so I'll be doing the BMW review on the 310 GS. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.